On a Sunday morning, while we're talking about tech, while we're talking about AI, while we're talking about innovation and stuff like that, is this a good time to discuss things like this? Is it that people are coming to church to hear AI on Sunday morning and all of that? Which one is better and what should we be talking about? So let me give you the basis for this from the Bible. The Bible says in the book of Exodus chapter 2 verse 5, I believe the media has my slide. If you do, you can display it for them to see. Exodus chapter 31 verses 2 to 5. The Bible says, "See, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, in bronze, in cutting jewels, for setting, in carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship." Now, when you look at Exodus 31, 2 to 5, God was speaking to a gentleman called Moses about another gentleman called Bezaleel. And here is what surprises me the most. Why is God talking to somebody else about another man and specifically speaking about the kind of skills that he had given to this man? So when I looked at it, look at the kind of wisdom that God said he had given to this person. He said in verse 3, Exodus 31 verse 3, "I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and what? In all manner of what? Workmanship." All manner of workmanship. It now says to design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, in bronze, in cutting jewels for setting, in carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship. So it was time to do something in the house of God, and God said to Moses, it's not just anybody that will do it. There is somebody that I have specifically designed with the kind of skills required to be able to do this thing. And that's the person you are going to use. Why was God telling another person all the skill set of this person? The only reason God will be telling another person the skill set of this one is because there is something so important, there is something so good about the skill set of that person. And it's because the skill set of that person just tells you that he's not just a child of God. It is this skill set that makes this person relevant in the kingdom of God. And I'm going somewhere with all of this. Again, you look at Daniel chapter 9, 21 to 22. Daniel chapter 9, 21 to 22. The Bible says, yes, while I was speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, reached me about the time of the evening offering, and he informed me and talked with me and said, "Oh Daniel, I have come now forth to give you skill to understand." To give you, okay, this translation says, to give this skill and understanding. But here in NKJV, it says to give you skill to understand. Why was Daniel praying and the answer to Daniel's prayer was skill and understanding? Because really, if I pray to God, I don't expect him to be coming to me to say that, okay, the answer is, I've come to give you skill and understanding. I'm praying to God to give me a Pajero Jeep or to give me a Prado Land Cruiser or to give me a G-Wagon, and then he says, I've come to give you skill to understand. Or I'm praying to God and say, man, I want to have a house in Banana Island and now I want to move to Ikoyi. I don't want to do mainland. All those mainland people, their wala is too much. In fact, I will call Lagos State Governor. I think we should put a fence in front of Third Mainland Bridge. Let's just be looking at those on the mainland from the other side. And all of a sudden, God says, I've come to give you skill to understand. What it therefore means is that sometimes the answer to your prayer is embedded in a skill. Sometimes the answer to your prayer is encoded in a skill. You may be praying and you may be thinking that God has not answered the prayer. But the question is that from the last time you prayed until now, which skill have you added to yourself which will enable the answer to your prayer? And there are some of you that are praying for something that you're asking God to give to you, and many of those things that you're praying for and asking God to give to you, if God were to give you those things right now, you do not have the skill set to carry the answer to your prayers. So if you do not have the skill set to carry the answer to your prayers, why do you keep praying and you're saying that God has not answered, God has not answered, God has not answered? You're saying, God, take me global, God, take me global, God, take me global. And as you're praying and asking God, take you global, you're praying and asking God to take you global. Social media accounts you do not have. Church, you don't come very often. Phone number, your phone is always on do not disturb mode. If it is not on do not disturb mode, it is on airplane mode. And you're asking God to take you global. How will you take you global? Is God into witchcraft? No. But you're saying, God, take me global. God, take me global. No, maybe if we see you only once in a month. And you're asking God to take you global. I heard something during the week when Pastor Sam Adeyemi was talking as they were celebrating the 30 years anniversary of their church. And he says sometimes lack of visibility from someone who is praying for visibility is like being in the dark and winking at a girl. If you're in a dark place and winking at a girl, who will notice that you are winking? Say, I toasted that babe, she did not agree. From where did you toast her? When she's not part of darkness, we're all children of light, so we can only see what you do in the light. So you need to understand that some of your answers to prayers are embedded in skill sets. Now, my introduction says, as Christians, we must move beyond demonstrating the wisdom of God in words to demonstrating the wisdom of God in practical or relatable things that solve problems. We need to move beyond demonstrating the wisdom of God in words to demonstrating the wisdom of God as being solution providers. Many of you, when we come to church and you profess, I'm a solution carrier, I'm loaded, I am this, the world will hear about me, and I'm a global superstar, I'm a mega superstar. We hear all of these things. And we say all of these things conveniently. But the moment we give you a chance, the moment we give you a platform, even the people in your village do not see you as a star. So if the people in your village cannot recognize you as a star, how will the people on the global stage think of you as a global superstar? So as Christians, it's not enough to speak Christianese. We must get to the language where in the secret place we can speak Christianese, but in the corporate world we will talk strategy, but the kind of strategy we'll be talking about, they know that this kind of strategy is uncommon. And if you are not a different person, how come you have this kind of strategy and we don't have access to this kind of strategy? The kind of strategy you now be talking about in the open place, they'll look at you and say, where, you this guy, you need to take me to where you're always getting this information from. How come I'm not getting it? How come you are the only one getting it? But in the secret place, we will pray. We will pray in the Holy Ghost. We will ask God for wisdom. We will talk and all of that. We will read the Bible. But when we come out, it's not Bible we're talking about. We're talking about revenue allocation. We're talking about redistribution of wealth. We're talking GDP. And we will talk about it in such a manner that the world will look at us and say, you are different. What is different about you? The next thing I want to say, and I'm trying to lay some foundation before I go into my message proper. Until we all learn to turn prophecies, hear me well, until we all learn to turn prophecies into strategic blueprints, the prophets will remain a joke in the marketplace. Until we all learn to turn what? Prophecies into strategic blueprints, the prophets will remain a joke in the marketplace. What do I mean by turning prophecies into strategic blueprints? When at the beginning of every year, we come to church, another year is just around the corner. Maybe in another 6 weeks now, 7 weeks more. I think we have just about 6 weeks left, right? We'll be in a new year. And then we'll be shouting again, it's my year of breakthrough, it's my year of turnaround, it's my year of strategic this, it's my year of that. It's depending on the kind of church. If you attend some churches where it is devil must die or the demon must die, it will be your year of my enemies have given up. If you attend a church where your pastor is a management consultant, it's my year of strategic turnaround. You know what I'm talking about, right? So depending on the church you attend, there will always be a name for the year. But guess what? When we go into the corporate world, what makes a difference in the corporate world? Is it the prophecies you are giving? Do you know why most people outside the church, do you know why they don't respect us? You know why they don't respect us? One of the reasons they don't respect us is that all the prophecy we're talking about, they don't see it manifesting or they don't see how it connects to the corporate world. That's why they don't respect us. But take, for example, and I'm going to come to the case of Joseph, Daniel, Job, and men like that who turned prophecies into blueprints. So when we're saying the future is now, the reason we're saying the future is now is, first of all, as Christians, you must understand how to step out of the church as a Christian, get into the corporate world, speak the language that they understand there, and still stand out from amongst them. If we ask a simple question today now, ask yourself, how many of you, if you speak in your office, everybody will say, wisdom, 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 wisdom. But you realize that there are so many Christians, if they speak in their office today, people will just look at you, oh boy, mama sorrow. We've told you not to talk. Don't you know that if a fool keeps quiet, nobody will know that the person is and they are saying that to somebody who is a Christian. If they are saying that to somebody who is a Christian, how then do you want to go global? How then do you want to become a megastar? How then do you want the country or the world to recognize you? When people in your office, you talk, people in your office will say, it's not your fault. So that's not supposed to be. Then, examples of biblical prophets. Number one, of course, I read to you Bezalel. Bezalel, who by his skill executed the wisdom of God. Imagine that everything God wanted to do, God had to tell a particular person, this is the person to do it. How many projects will God want to do in Nigeria now that God will recommend you to the governor? How many projects will God want to do in Nigeria today and make sure that he orchestrates, because he can orchestrate that anybody will locate you if you are the one carrying the skill that he needs? In this case, God made sure that Moses identified and was able to look for Bezalel. And it was God himself that was reeling out the CV of this person. So what kind of projects do we want to do in Nigeria today? Let's even begin from Berean Center. How many projects do we want to do in this church today? We say, no, it must be this person. If this person is the one that you put in charge, forget it. Fantastic. Go to bed. And beyond your church, then take it to the workplace. Take it to your community. Take it to the state level. Take it to the country. And then take it to the national level. The second person is Isaac. Isaac mastered wealth to the point that it was a nation that was contending for the wealth. You know, some of you, you have not even made any money. You are shouting, my village people, my village people, my village people. All these things for which you have been shouting, my village people, we have not even seen you manifest anything at all. Look at the individual that was fighting with him. It was the entire nation that was fighting with Isaac. You know, there are levels you prosper to. It is only nations that deal with you. There are levels you prosper to. It is communities that deal with you. And there are levels that do, I hope you know, like I said to some people somewhere, there's a level you get to when it comes to money. You want to borrow money. A single bank cannot provide the money to you. Banks have to come together to borrow you money. That exists? How many of you know that exists? There are people today, it's a crime. Lack of visibility is a crime. And if you are in your office, you are doing this same attitude. Some of you will not carry it to your office. Nobody knows you. And you are angry that somebody is being promoted. Listen, let me tell you one secret, just in case you don't know. Going into the new year, you better learn that people are not promoted based on skill set alone. People are promoted based on who is more visible. Did you hear what I said? People are not promoted based on what? Skill set alone. People are promoted based on who is more visible. That's why people are doing eye service. I'm not asking you to go and do eye service, but you say everybody is doing eye service. Me, I don't do eye service. Me, I don't do eye service. Okay, you don't do eye service. At least the skill set that you have, bring it out. Let us see it. When you bring out your skill set, with your skill set, we'll now know who is doing eye service, who is not doing eye service. Come and do the proper service. Go and check everywhere people are being promoted. In addition to your skill set, the more important thing is visibility. Go and check somebody online who is making more money than you are doing today. Go and check why that person is making more money. It's visibility. One of my coaches said to me years ago, he drew a circle, and as he drew a circle, he created a percentage out of that circle and wrote 15% in the smaller circle. And then in the bigger space, wrote 85%. You know what he said to me? Okay, this is back. So after drawing the circle and putting the bigger circle, on the bigger circle he wrote 85%, in the smaller circle he wrote 15%. He now said to me, life is 15% skills and 85% marketing. Do you understand what I just said? Life is what? 15% skills, 85% what? In other words, now who people see then they buy from. Now who people see then they promote. Now who people see then they patronize. If you are not seen, then you are not known. And if you are not seen, you cannot be promoted. You can't be gifted and just sit down at home. I'm not, even with the technology, you still have to be seen. Do you know that that's why some people are shouting on a daily basis on the internet? While I'm not asking you to do this, I hope you know that today, nakedness is a strategy on the internet. Oh, you are not aware? You think that those people who do, they get ready with me? One funny girl will call it Girimi. You think they don't know what they are doing? Somebody who's a grown adult, a full-grown adult, will set camera, Okay. So a full-grown adult will come on stage and set camera, set lights, put everything, and put the two hazard lights that God gave to her in front of camera, and be turning in front of. Initially, you think that you are condemning what the person is doing. As you think that you are condemning what the person is doing, in order to condemn that thing, what do you have to do? You have to connect. You have to comment. At least you click it before you condemn, isn't it? But you see, you can click and say, you are a very foolish girl. How can you come online and be dressing naked? As you are telling her she's foolish, she's stupid, she's this, she's that, you have given her engagement. And then some other men say, what is this? They didn't train you well. They didn't do that. As you are writing, you have given her what she wanted after the whole month. I'm not asking you to do that, but I'm saying that people even outside this space, they understand this thing, that being out there on a daily basis is a strategy. Put yourself out there. I can't remember how many people have been telling. In fact, just last Sunday, I still spoke to somebody in our church. There's something about when you hear some people's voices for the very first time, you just know that there's something different about this person. At least some people, I've heard some people like that. I hear their voice for the very first time, and I can tell this person has the gift of teaching. They are not teaching Sunday school. They are not preaching. I'm just hearing your voice for the first time. Maybe because I'm a teacher of the word. Maybe that's why I can identify somebody else who is. But I'm hearing your voice for the first time. And instantly I'm saying are you a Sunday school teacher? Are you doing anything in that line? Have you been doing something in that regard? And then they say, yes, sir. Actually, I'm still thinking. I've not started. I'm still. When you are not still waters. Tell your neighbor, don't be a still waters. Do it. My background is not fine. Start with that background that is fine. That is not fine. 10 years later, you now do throwback. You now show them where I started from. And say, see where I started from. I get story. That's what you do. So use that technology. Again, help me say to your neighbor, lack of visibility is a crime. Then the next one is using AI now. You better embrace AI. You better do what? Embrace AI. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I hope you are not part of those saying that AI is demonic. Or that he's not of God. These people of the world and stuff. No. AI is here to stay. And guess what God always does? Even if the devil invented something, God will make it available for his own use. Even if the devil invented something, what will God do? God will make it. The Bible says all things work together for the good of those who love God and to them that are called according to his what? Purpose. Another translation says according to his original intention. So even if it was the devil that invented it, God will use it for his own good. I don't know who invented the microphone, and I don't think the person was a Christian. But let's assume that the person was not a Christian. I hope you know that we use more microphones in churches than in anywhere else in the world today. So maybe somebody else invented a microphone to be doing protests, to be doing three gosa. But today we use more microphones in churches. If somebody invented chair to be feeling comfortable in his own house, at the time they invented chairs, did they ever think that one day we will need an auditorium where we need 300,000 chairs, 1 million chairs? But today we have an auditorium where we need over 10 million chairs. So much so that I hope you know that as a mission, I hope you know that your church even now has a factory that manufactures chairs. Oh, you don't know? We've gone past that level. We don't buy chairs anymore. We now manufacture our chairs in RCCG. Oh, so people don't know. Ah, wow, okay. Leverage AI for automations. It makes your work easier. Leverage it. There are so many things I want to do today. Instead of doing them over and over and over again, I've automated things. For example, I'm currently serving at the provincial headquarters. One of the things we do is that we analyze our attendance data every Sunday after service. We do it maybe in the evening on a virtual meeting. And I realized that if I were to, and I've been given the responsibility to be doing that thing. And I said to myself, number one, I don't even like mathematics. I hate calculation and everything. Anything that is not money, my head cannot calculate it. So they now gave me that kind of job. So what do? I just simply, you know what I did? Eventually I went to AI. And I gave it a command prompt. I said, this data is for the last 3 weeks. What I need you to do is to compare the previous week plus the current week and tell me if it's a minus or a positive one. All I'm going to be doing on a weekly basis is to supply you data for the previous week, and you will automatically populate. Make sure that the Excel sheet is formulated to give me answers automatically. And then I entered. It gave me, I will now use the data that they gave to me in church. I'll just, first timer, 20. I'll just enter, as they gave it to me in church, I'll just enter it. Wait for next week. And when they give me the next week data again, I'll just enter it. By itself, the spreadsheet will tell me the difference between last week and this week. It will tell me the average for the entire month. I don't stress myself calculating anything. I'll just do a screenshot of that and send it to my pastor. I wanted to do, they invited me to a place recently. They said I should come and be part of panel of judges. I said, I can't be stressing myself. When they now say panel of judges, all of you are judges. All the judges, they now collected, they, took their reports. All of them now gave me the score sheet that I should go and sit down and be calculating. I don't have time for that. I brought everything together. Went to AI again. I said, created an automated score sheet for me. I will enter the data. You calculate the summary. You calculate the average. You give me the winner. You tell me everything after that. Just make sure it's formulated. And after I created the spreadsheet for me, I just entered the data. As I entered the data, as I was entering data, it was calculating who the winner was, who is the second person, who is the third person, who comes first, who is the average. It gave me everything. And some of you, these are not the days where you can go blind. Let me quickly demonstrate. I know some of you have seen it before, but let me demonstrate something for you so that you will see what we're talking about. Some of you would have seen it before. I'm currently talking to a group of people. I want you to hear their voices, or maybe you're not going to. Oh, okay, sorry. Hold on. Hello, I'm talking to a group of people. I want them to hear your voice. What do you think about AI in this time and age?
Oh, that's awesome. I think AI is definitely transforming so many aspects of our lives right now. It's helping in fields like healthcare, education, business, and so much more. It's also bringing up some important conversations around ethics and the future of work. Overall, it's pretty exciting to see how it's evolving.
I bet may will stop this English. I bet young pigeon with me. I won't go do job interview tomorrow. How am I supposed to prepare for the job interview?
No wahala, I got you. For the interview, make sure say you sabi the company well, understand their values and what dem they do, prepare your own story, highlight your experience and skills we fit their need. Also practice common interview questions, and no forget to dress well and come early. Just be yourself and you go do well.
You see they speak correct Oyinbo. I say speak pidgin to me. Tell me how I go take prepare for this interview tomorrow.
No wahala, I dey here for you. So make sure say you know the company well, understand what in them they do and what in them need. Prepare your own gist, make you highlight your experience and the skills way fit their requirements. Practice common questions way them fit ask, and make sure say you dress well and arrive on time. Just be yourself and you could do well.
All right, now I don't have time to demonstrate some other things. What I simply demonstrated for you, that's simply ChatGPT voice. Now, many of you can simply use it. It's the best tool some of you can use to prepare for job interviews. It's the best tool some of you can use to prepare for a pitch. You are going for a pitch. You don't know how to prepare. Just come and have a conversation with this thing. It will talk to you. It will break it down. And somebody will say AI is demonic. Or somebody will say, we should ask you, I hope your village people did not follow you to Lagos. Because these are things that can help you get things done. I can see that my time is running out. So use AI to enhance what you have done. I'm a trainer. Before, in those days, when we were doing trainings, we would spend hours trying to prepare slides, trying to prepare so many things. And instead of spending hours preparing this thing, these days, all I need to do is tell the AI, I'm teaching on this topic. These are the things I want you to cover. And sometimes I'll give you bullet points. And I say, make sure it covers a period of 2 days, and it will give me everything that I need. There is nothing I want to think of in my head that AI does not already know. What's the point trying to be braggadocious and say, I sat with it myself. I came up with everything myself. Have you heard the word, there is nothing new under heaven? Have you heard it? There's no, no, I didn't get it from anywhere. Everything came fresh from heaven. Matonrai. Be deceiving yourself. The thing that you say came fresh from heaven, please just go on YouTube. I hope you know that there will probably be over 1 million pastors preaching across the world today. Just listen to like 20 pastors. You'll be shocked that everything you say came from heaven. Other pastors are preaching exactly the same thing. So there is nothing you want to say, training and everything. The only thing that will be different is how you say it, the analogies you use, the examples you use to bring it to life. Those are the things that will be different. So innovation, let me talk about that and try to wrap up because my time is up now. Innovation is like a rapid rushing river. Innovation is like what? Rapid rushing river. How many of you have seen a rapid flowing river before? When I was in my secondary school, they took us to a particular place. It was a river and stuff like that. And as I put one leg in it, I came out immediately. Said, what? If you see that's when I understood what they call current. It was so powerful that if you don't have stamina, forget it, you are gone. So innovation is like rapid rushing river. It does not seek permission. If you don't flow with it, it will sweep you away. So don't hope that maybe one day innovation will change and we'll do better and we'll catch up with it. These days, you better be ahead of innovation or make sure you are catching up with it as it's happening. Then, I said again that innovation is consistent modification of the existing state of a substance. What does that mean? Really, what we call innovation is simply changing the state of a thing. For example, today they are bringing back what they call foldable phones, right? And they say it's innovation. How many of you remember Nokia and Nokia Fold? Nokia communicator. If a phone today, a foldable phone today is not an innovation. We had foldable phones before. Nokia communicator, when you open it, one part is screen, one part is keyboard. And it looks like a smartphone. Those were the smartphones of those days. How many of you remember BlackBerry Touch? That you slide it up, the upper part is screen, the lower part is keyboard. The things that we had in those days, those are the things we are bringing back. There was one white Nokia phone in those days that used to be a flip phone. You open it, the screen, everything is white. The back, everything is white. Those were the flip. When Samsung came out, they had flip phones. Sajen, Turaya, you remember them? But today they are bringing them back and calling them flip phone. The only thing is that they now have Android OS and iOS. And that's what they are calling flip phone. So you need to understand that innovation is simply changing the state of something. And as Christians, we must innovate. As Christians, we must do what? Innovate. Let's be the solution providers. Let's not just be consumers. One of the major problems that we have had as a country is that we're constantly using what somebody else already created. Let's also start to create something. And on my last slide, I said building what lasts. Number one, to build what lasts, catch the vision that is meant for you. If you start something that is not meant for you, guess what? It will not last. But if it is what God has told you to do, then it will last. Provided it is what God has told you to do. That's why in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2 it says, write the vision, make it plain. It first of all says, I will see what God will say to me. So it means that you are waiting on God to catch the vision. Then number 2, seek clarity for the vision. If God gives you a vision, seek clarity for it. Then when you seek clarity for the vision, the next thing you should do is integrate tech and AI into everything God has told you to do. If you are called into the music space, integrate tech into your music. Today, people are singing without having a full band. And you will hear the loop, you will hear drums, you will hear different kinds of instruments, and there is only one person singing, and you think it's multiple people that are singing. How many of you have seen this guy, OMG, what he does with himself? He sings and it's like he's himself replicated into like 10 different places. He's on the keyboard, he's on bass guitar, he's on the talking drum, he's the one playing keyboard, he's the one holding microphone. He's also the lead vocalist. Replicates himself like that. Technology. And there are so many people who are doing videos. Somebody makes himself a twin, a set of twins. Of course, you know this popular young lady online. She's the one acting as the mother. She's still the daughter. She still also has a younger daughter. And then the younger daughter is also constantly fighting the older daughter. And she's still the mother, whereas it's just one person. Technology. Everything God has given to you. Listen, the technology is to your advantage. Say to your neighbor, the technology is to your advantage. Say to them again, the AI is to your advantage. So let me wrap up by closing with this final word. You saw what God did about Bezalel, and I'm going back to Bezalel. One man, God himself recommending this man to another person. What kind of capacity are you developing that will cause God to recommend you to somebody else? Because remember what I said about Daniel, that Daniel prayed, and what answer did God give to him? Skill to understand. So I said, if God were to answer your prayer today, do you have the skill set to carry the answer to your prayers? And that the reason many of you are not seeing answers is because you have not developed the skill set. In fact, many of you, God has given you answers in form of revelation, in form of idea. The money you are looking for is in the idea God gave to you. What else are you looking for? Just go and add tech, AI, and the future is in your hands. God bless you.